so we missed the B story.
Yes, I know we missed the B story, Captain Obvious.
Yeah, okay, calm down. Damn, always gotta be so angsty.
We used everything that was provided to us, part 1, 2, and 3.
Well, we did check everything that we had at the time. It was like part 1 and part 3.
That's all we had.
Yeah, but we've seen part 4.
Well, hasn't LampLeg been posting on his Instagram? No, he wouldn't have the balls. I mean, episode 4.
No, but it makes sense because...
No.
When Batman falls, who rises? Imagine this. Batman. But none of the rules, no mercy, no fear, and no Bruce Wayne. Batman the Owl's Hollow has come to a conclusion that we partially didn't see coming. If you've seen my last video on how we predicted that the Gotham Knights would make an appearance, the Court of Owls having a hand in the story, and surprisingly a twist we didn't see coming, Owlman actually cares about Bruce. The Owl's Hollow has been a personal fan project that I've loved watching since it was out. But now that the series has closed and this chapter in Lamp's DC franchise, where could he possibly be leading to? Now that we know Crisis on Infinite Earths is nowhere near yet, what does he have to offer to keep us invested in his universe?
Should Bruce Wayne hear the full name, the trigger phrase of his alternate, he may become trapped in his own mind forever. It is a name choked in his father's blood. Zur En Arrh.
Yeah, that's right, motherfuckers. This mad lad is actually going to pull Zur En Arrh, the Batman of the Batman, and make him the main antagonist of his upcoming series? But what is the story going to be about? What is LampLeg working on behind the scenes to bring us what could potentially be the coolest Batman fan series on the internet made by a solo content creator? In today's cult meeting, we are going to be discussing the origins of Zur En Arrh, his latest runs in the comics, and what I believe our Lord and Savior LampLeg is going to be cooking up in his latest DC project. And hey, if you're watching this and you need an extra hand on the script, if anything else, hit me up, big man, I do got a film degree. But before getting into today's cult meeting, if you enjoy, leaving a like would be awesome as it gets the video out there, and subscribing will help the channel grow as we are growers and not showers. Also, if you'd like to support the channel in other ways, let me know if I should open memberships for exclusive content or follow my Patreon, where I'll be uploading the director's cut of these videos because my monetization is absolutely non-existent. Now, this is Batman of Zur En Arrh, the backup personality of the Batman. This is the Batman you get when you fuck around and find out way too hard and he decides to, hey, you know what, you don't deserve to live today. And bye-bye Bruce Wayne, and out comes the Batman. No matter what happens, you ain't seeing tomorrow. Zur En Arrh isn't just a weird alternative version of Batman, no. Zur En Arrh is Batman's psychological doomsday protocol against himself. When Bruce Wayne is compromised, Batman of Zur En Arrh takes over, and he does not hold back. But let me take you back to way back when, back in Batman number 113 in 1958. Back in the Silver Age, comic writers were going absolutely nuts. Aliens, time travels, rainbow costumes, you name it, Batman did it. So, one day, they decide, hey, you know what? Let's give the Batman an absolutely unhinged personality without his moral compass. Thus, Zur En Arrh was born. But it started off as a planet first. I know you've seen this in Brave and the Bold before, where Batman travels to a planet called Zur En Arrh and he meets the Batman of Zur En Arrh. His name is Talano, a Batman of that world who literally says, I patterned myself after you, the famous Batman of Earth. Rest in peace, Kevin Conroy. Here's the twist. If you remember that episode specifically, on Zur En Arrh, Bruce gains superpowers. He basically becomes the Superman of that planet. For comic book readers, we all know where we thought that was gonna go, but no, it actually had a light-hearted twist to it, and thank God, because we all know what happened to Batman when he got shown him powers in that one comic. But anyways, moving on. The Batman of Zur En Arrh and our Batman team up, save the planet from an evil robot army in the show is by Lex Luthor, and Batman returns home. And that was it. A nuts, one-off story that would never be referenced again. Until Grant Morrison.
You know, I came into comics at a time when people were doing what I would call deconstruction, you know, stuff like Watchmen and Dark Knight and some of the things that followed them, which were breaking down the hero or examining what it might be like to be a superhero in a real world.
Grant Morrison said, wait, what if that story was a hallucination? That's where his brain started cranking. Fast forward 50 years later, Batman is more brooding, more vulnerable, and Grant Morrison is rebuilding his mythos from the ground up. In Batman R.I.P. 2008, we meet the Black Glove, a secret cabal bent on destroying Batman, not physically, but mentally. They use a trigger word, a buried piece of Bruce's childhood. Zur En Arrh. Oh yeah, if you weren't tired of DC stealing from Marvel, they gave Batman a Winter Soldier trigger word. Holy shit, where does it end? These words were actually the misheard last words of Thomas Wayne. Zur En Arrh. Zorro in Arkham. And LampLeg, I love the attention to detail to that, by the way. Bruce heard it when his father spoke about the movie Zorro and Arkham Hospital. When the Black Glove used this phrase, it's like turning something on in Bruce's brain that you don't want activated. The Batman we know is gone momentarily. Bruce Wayne ceases to exist. But here's the twist. Batman was prepared. Bruce built a backup personality stored deep within his mind behind a psychic wall. Thank you, by the way, magicians of DC. And, well, the walls fall and the Batman of Zur En Arrh rises. Now, who is Zur En Arrh? This is a Batman with no gadgets, no Alfred, no conscience, and again, no Bruce Wayne. Just the mission. The Batman of Zur En Arrh is pure survival instinct. He fights with junks he pulls from a dumpster. He's hallucinating Batmite. He also talks to the walls, and he's winning anyways. Hell yeah, we got Moon Knight in DC, bro. His costume? A jarring explosion of red, yellow, and purple. Ugh. It's homemade, and it's got a glitchy feel to it, but you know, I kinda dig it. It's iconic for Zur En Arrh. It's a little goofy, but if you see that color scheme, you know you done fucked up. But that's the point. Zur En Arrh is Batman, broken and remade. Raw, relentless, and rageful. Even Batmite, who shows up as a hallucination sidekick, calls it out. You built me to keep you sane. Zur talks to himself, punches through the walls, tracks down the Black Glove, and tears them apart. Even buried alive, pumped full of drugs, along in the city that thinks he's dead, Zur rises. It's terrifying, it is brilliant, it's amazing, it's Batman at his most inhuman. Now, if you haven't read a Zur En Arrh comic, we are going to be getting to that because he actually makes a return in what I feel like is one of the best Batman and Justice League comics out there, right next to Absolute and The Dark Knight Rises. Well, not The Dark Knight Rises, The Dark Knight Returns, but you know, you get the message. Moving on.
I'm sorry, but if you knew how many times we've actually had this conversation before, you would find this hilarious. Oh, yeah. You would be a bit foggy, wouldn't you? The amount of times I've wiped your memory for me.
Seeing Zur En Arrh portrayed like this, it makes it feel so much like the Batman Who Laughs as a Temu ripoff of this Batman and is the OG psychotic version of the Caped Crusader. Oh yeah, I went there. Yeah, that's right, I went there. Seeing him sit on a throne in the Owl's Hollow, I said it, asking Luthor for information on platinum kryptonite feels absolutely perfect. It's exactly what I feel like Zur En Arrh would do to get the mission done. Which, if you haven't seen LampLeg's short comedy clips on the matter, go check it out. But if you're too lazy, then here's the whole ass clip. Sorry, Lamp.
Alright, Clark. I know you're getting really tired of testing out different colors of kryptonite, but these tests are important. We have to know all of your weaknesses. Now, the next color, platinum kryptonite. Just take that in your hand. Very good. Okay. Now, how do you feel? I feel nothing.
What? Nada. Zilch. This does nothing to me.
That can't be right. It has to do something. Let me see it for just a second, alright? Now let's just try and figure out what...
Yo, what the f?
I can feel it. I have all the powers of a Kryptonian.
Oh, shit.
Oh, fuck. Super speed, super strength, flight, the ability to put on glasses and realize that everyone around me is a total idiot for not realizing my true identity. They're all at my disposal.
I am now a god.
Well, if you have all the powers of a Kryptonian, I guess it's only fair that we find out if you have the weaknesses too.
Excuse me?
God is all-powerful. He cannot be all good. And if he is all good, then he cannot be all-powerful. And neither can you be.
Batman with Kryptonian powers is terrifying on its own, as we've previously mentioned in the Zur En Arrh episode of Brave and the Bold. But a Batman that is stripped of his humanity, of his code, of his Bruce? Shit, that's the stuff of nightmares. I'd evacuate the planet faster than Omni-Man started a new family on the bug planet. Don't get me wrong, it's absolutely badass. A Batman that gets the job done by any means necessary. But considering how psychotic Zur actually is, I would not be surprised if he didn't care about the lives of civilians when it comes to stopping a threat as large as, say, General Zod or Doomsday. I'd gladly take any day before I have a roided up 80s color schemed Batman save me that has Kryptonian powers from an alien invasion any day. Okay, let's run it back real quick. What can we expect Lamp to do with the hundreds of thousands of comics out there about the Batman and Zur En Arrh? Well, if you've been on the comic scene in recent times, in 2022, we got the dopest Zur En Arrh return in comics. Zur En Arrh wasn't just a one-time breakdown. He stuck around. And in Batman 2002 until present day by Chip Zdarsky, I don't know if I said that right, but do correct me in the comments, we learn he's been busy. Turns out Zur built something while Bruce was hidden in his own mind. Failsafe. A robotic failsafe protocol, if it wasn't in the name. A kill switch with legs. Failsafe only activates when Batman crosses the line. If he kills. So doesn't that mean if Zur takes over and he takes a life, does that failsafe actually... You know what? That's another topic for another video. But if you want to hear me break down why failsafe and Zur En Arrh would really just clash rather than synergize, let me know down in the comments. When Bruce accidentally thinks he kills the Penguin, failsafe wakes up. And it doesn't just go after criminals, it goes after Batman himself. And again, Bruce didn't make failsafe, Zur En Arrh did. Batman built a version of himself so paranoid, so cold, that it created a robot murderer to kill him if he ever slipped. Oh yeah, he built his own Terminator.
Bruce Wayne, you've broken the code that you've stuck by your entire life as Batman. Prepare to be terminated.
Failsafe defeats the Justice League. It outsmarts every play Bruce has made. It even forces Batman off of the planet. This arc shows that the real danger is Batman didn't build Zur En Arrh to help. He built him to survive anything, even himself. And he doesn't! Even when him and Robin went full Kratos and Atreus on his ass, it wasn't enough. The Man of Steel fell to this Terminator. There was nothing this android could not take down because of this Batman's Batman. His contingency for himself. Oh, you think Prep Time is going to protect bitch Wayne now? Ha! He had that and it took him faking his death to beat the T-800. Bro had to travel the fucking multiverse just to reach this thing's off switch. But it doesn't stop there. Zur En Arrh, the mad fucking Batman, transfers himself into the now shut off body of Failsafe and becomes Failsafe. Zur En Arrh doesn't exactly transfer into Failsafe at first. Originally, Zur just built Failsafe as a separate robot. But after Bruce defeats Failsafe by turning off its prime directive, Zur En Arrh's personality survives. Instead of dying, Zur's mind uploads itself into Failsafe's robotic body, basically becoming Failsafe. Now Failsafe is Zur En Arrh, Batman's ruthless backup mind inside a near indestructible robot body. Now why does all this matter? How LampLeg is building things up by having Nightwing and Red Robin fight the entire Rogues Gallery on their own, while he fights for his mind. It's teasing that Zur En Arrh will be in control majority of the time, with Bruce breaking out from time to time to help the family. If so, the Bat family and the League are going to have to try and bring Bruce back fully in his own control, while trying to beat a Batman who knows exactly what they're going to do before they do it. The only difference is, this Bat doesn't give a shit if you have a family waiting for you at home. He will kill you if he has to. Now, he could pull a swerve on us and have the League and the Bat family lose, and Zur En Arrh in full control, and that's where it ends. But I believe there will be two options and two outcomes on how it's going to go down. A, he goes the safe route and he has the League and the family force Zur En Arrh out of Bruce and transfer his body into what I assume is LampLeg's version of Failsafe. Or he could go the absolute goated route by having Bruce transfer into Failsafe himself, or a clone of himself that has been laying dormant in the belly of the Batcave. Because if you remember, in Batman Last Night on Earth, he finds out that he was actually just a clone of the original Batman, and all of his memories and everything were transferred into that clone. The only difference being is that the original Batman is still alive and has crossed the line ever since Superman died. He swore never to cross and went absolutely insane, taking over the world. Now, that's just the short of it. But if you ask me, if LampLeg goes the Batman Last Night on Earth route by having a different version of Batman be cloned, or have our Bruce Wayne in a clone's body duking it out with Zur En Arrh instead of having just the traditional Failsafe, I think that would make so much more sense and would build on his Batman's world, because not only will he be able to defeat Failsafe in his clone's body, but the Bat family turmoil that we're going to have by figuring out, hey, you have multiple copies of yourself. Do you have multiple copies of us if we die? What's going on? That's going to be a whole discussion for another video if this video does well. But if you do want to see that too, leave a like or comment, because I don't earn anything off of these because my monetization is absolutely non-existent, so you guys know what to do. If you haven't read this comic book series, The Last Night on Earth, I highly recommend that you do, because it's one hell of a story. All in all, Batman of Zur En Arrh proves that our Batman is more than Bruce Wayne. He's a force of nature. Survival algorithm. When all else fails, when Bruce is dead, buried, and broken, Zur En Arrh comes out to play. Not because of hope, but because the mission cannot be allowed to fail. And that is the most terrifying version of Batman of them all. And if LampLeg goes either directions with this DCU, then we've gotta get our plates ready, boys, because we are going to be eating good. But that's all I got for you in today's video. What are your thoughts? Do you think Failsafe is going to make an appearance in the LampLeg extended universe? Or does he have something else up his chamber? Be sure to let me know down in the comments. I'm 3 months away from finishing college, dudes. Just a little bit more, and I'm gonna be free from the shackles of requirements. I hope y'all are doing well, because I know I've been away for a while, but you know, what can you do? I got a future ahead of me. But if you enjoyed, leaving a like would be awesome as it gets the video out there, and subscribing will keep you up to date on the latest cult meetings. That's all from your boy. I hope you have a wonderful day, and in case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.